Smoke in the air, heavy chords on the keys. You walk through the room like a sudden breeze. Everybody turns, everybody stares, but you look right through us like nobody's there. I'm just watching the shadows, keeping my place, and reading the distance written on your face. Yeah, you're close enough to hear you breathe, but a million miles out of my reach, like a masterpiece locked behind the glass. I pour my drink and just watch you pass. Yeah. Just watch you pass. You belong to the bright lights, the front page. I'm just a background noise on this stage. I ain't gonna walk up, ain't gonna pretend. Some stories are over before they begin, so I'll just appreciate the view from the dark, while the needle scratches the record's mark. Close enough to hear you breathe, but a million miles out of my reach, like a masterpiece locked behind the glass. I sit back and just watch you dopamine. A little hit to the brain, a temporary lift. We're all chasing the train, waiting for the gift. Blown screens in the dark, feeding the machine. Manufactured spark, you know what I mean. Scrolling down the void, looking for a peak, feeling paranoid when the signal gets weak. Dopamine, dopamine, no invisible strain. Dopamine, making the hollow heart sing. Just a drop in the well, a chemical spell. Voluntary heaven in the quiet hell, yeah, chasing the ghost. MPC, MPC, MPC. We were just kids, thought we had all the time. Running down the block, making up the rhyme. Then the call came, and the music stopped. Just like that, the hourglass dropped. I lost a brother, lost a part of my soul. But your memory is the fire that keeps me whole. Puts it in perspective, the blink of an eye. 1 minute you're laughing, the next is goodbye. Life can just end, cut short in a second. A fragile little spark, a force to be reckoned. So I don't waste time looking back in the gray. I carry your light every step of the way. Isn't promised. Today is all we got. Gotta give it everything, give it every shot. So I'm drinking the sun, I'm feeling the rain, turning all the sorrow into something besides pain. This one is for you, looking down from above. Living every second with nothing but love. Coffee in the mug, sneakers by the door. Simple little things that I couldn't ignore. The way you tie your hair, the sunlight on your face, turn this little room into a sacred space. Yeah, it's the day to grind, the quiet of the dawn, just counting up the seconds every time you're gone. When you leave the house, your colors fade to gray. But when you're right here, we might fight all day. Yeah, sometimes I lose my mind, wanna pull my hair, but I wouldn't trade a second of the life we share. Nah, I wouldn't trade a single second. Mess of two lives in one frame, learning how to dance, learning how to compromise the game. Yeah. You drive me crazy, push me to the ledge, and you pull me right back from the edge. Through the arguments, the laughter and the silent nights, you're the only one that makes the heavy world feel light. When you leave the house, your colors faded gray. When you're right here, we might fight all day. Yeah, sometimes I lose my mind, wanna pull my hair, but I wouldn't trade a second of the life we share. NPC of thoughts. NPC. No, no, no. Yeah, let's see. Golden dust blowing through the cosmic breeze, chasing shadows through the weeping trees. We build our castles on the shifting sand, trying to hold the ocean in a single hand. The sky turns purple and the mirrors crack. Ain't no way of ever turning back. Floating down a river, made of colored glass, watching all the painted seasons pass. The heavy clouds are melting in the sun, the endless circle that has just begun. A butterfly caught inside a heavy storm, waiting for the fly just to keep it warm. Tides are turning, washing out the shore, knocking softly on the spinning door. Sound and screams at 6, breaking up the dream, drinking down the black oil, caught up in the scheme, burning up a gray cloud, stepping in the cold, doing what we gotta do, doing what we're told, riding in the steel snake, swallowed by the crowd, marching to the concrete, the silence gets loud. Heavy chapters written in a little box. Racing with the shadow, fighting with the clock. Smiling at the ghost, talking about the empty air. Sure looks like rain today, pretending that we care. Trading all our golden hours just to pay the fee. Looking out the window, wondering who we could be. Yeah. The iron wheel keeps turning. The engine never sleeps. We're running in a circle, making promises to keep. The hustle and the grind, the rhythm of the street. Tomorrow there's a copy. Hit rewind and hit repeat. Yeah. Hit rewind and hit repeat. Yeah. The battery is there, carrying that heavy sky inside an empty head. Walking through the front door, kicking up her shoes, staring at the going blast, swallowing the news. A cold plate on the table, counting the sheep, just to wake up tomorrow and knowing I'll sleep. Kings in the glass tower, rolling the bone, playing the game with a life not their own. Invisible hands signing papers in ink, while the edge of the world pushes closer to the brink. They talk about peace while they sharpen the knife, trading a number for a breathing life. birds flying through a heavy gray cloud. Some screaming at the wind, some lost in the crowd. Some holding up a sign, begging for a cure. Some staring at the screen, locking up the door. Shadows hurting in the hash, washing down the drain. Just another number in the heavy red rain. Flipping through the calendar, the year 26, but the maskers keep playing the same dirty tricks. The wheel keeps turning, washing the stone, leaving nothing behind but the dust and the bone. Yeah, just the dust and the bone. Up the future just to burn it to the ground. Walking in a circle to a terrifying sound. The suits turn a blind eye, counting up the gold, while the youngest to the block never get to grow old. How many more tears gotta feed the machine before we wake up from this violent dream? Down, staring at the glow, begging for a world that we don't even know. Swipe, tap, pull to refresh, trading real blood for a digital mesh. Nobody touches, everyone speaks, looking for a fix every day of the week. Instant drip, falling asleep, scrolling down the hole, going down too deep. Instant drip, falling asleep, scrolling down the hole, going down too deep. Yeah. Sleeping with our eyes wide open. Focus for the lens, put on a show. Tell all the strangers what they won't even know. A million connections sitting all alone, selling all the culture to the glass and the bone. Quietly shifting, blind to the theft, just chasing the dopamine till nothing is left. Instant drip, falling asleep, scrolling down the hole, going down too deep. Instant drip, falling asleep, scrolling down the hole, going down too deep. Just a zombie in the field. Put the sneakers on the kid. Put the sneakers on the kid, point them to the track. Load 100 heavy stones right up on his back. Running for a finish line, drawn inside the sand. Begging for a golden star from a stranger's hand. Falling out of rhythm, watching shadows pass me by. Feeling like a broken bird, too tired to even fly. The gavel strikes the wood, the invisible decree. Society is weighing what is left of me. But the heaviest of judgments, the master of the grind is an executioner I carry in my mind. Yeah, carrying the judge in my mind. Drinking poison from the cup, thinking it was wine, waiting for the validation, standing in the line, taught to build a prison cell, knock it from the inside, swallowing a panic with nowhere left to hide. It takes a second to be changed, takes a life to break the